Brr.
Am I looking okay now?
Hey, there you are.
There
Okay.
you are.
There it
Peekaboo.
is.
Alright, hey guys. Sorry I'm late. I did a stupid, which isn't unusual. So I hope y'all had a wonderful weekend. It'll be good to see you guys and all the other people who have been watching lately. I'm hungry.
Welcome back, everyone. We're just going to talk about food for the next 2 hours.
Spaghetti.
Anyway,
Pizza.
couple minor updates before we go and just chill for the next 15 minutes. So for those of you who might remember, I had a couple sponsors since this past week.
Yep.
And some of this is going to be more for you guys than the watchers. Minor details. And I'll explain that to you in a minute. One of the ones I had been scouted by was Mech Arena. Now, I've been playing Mech Arena a little bit.
I've heard of them a couple times, and it looks pretty good.
I play a little bit. I've enjoyed it so far. It doesn't feel super grindy yet, but I'm just beginning the game. I'll go into details about Mech Arena. Surprise, surprise, when I stream Tuesday. I'll be streaming Mech Arena for about 4 hours Tuesday. Let's see, I usually end around 12:30. Try 12, 10. I'm gonna start around 8. And it's just gonna be a very casual, relaxing stream. And my goal is to get a couple people and get them to at least play the tutorial and enjoy themselves. The game is offered on PC as well as mobile. So this would be a good chance for me to get people in, make a little bit of money, and maybe buy some new equipment, depending on how well I do. Maybe a game or two. Just kind of depends on what happens, really. So what I would encourage those who are watching or who are to soon watch, and I'll once again mention this near the end of the video, or not the video, but the stream.
There we go.
In an effort,
Yeah, there it goes.
to try and increase our viewer base for Tuesday, and then B, as maybe new members of this very
Small
chaotic
band of heroes.
chaotic family.
Heroes is not the right word.
Anti-heroes.
We are chaotic beings.
Just chaotic.
Lawful chaotic, gotcha.
I would encourage people posting information across social media to maybe help bring some more people in and maybe get some more feedback about what they might want to see. You know, get them to participate in the family.
Join us. Join us.
For my compatriots here, if you look at Tables
Join
forums,
us.
Tables forums.
I have to look at things. Oh, gross.
Table forums, there's a kind of a post there under advertisements that has
Yeah, I noticed that.
kind of something you can use to post quick copy and paste post anywhere you think is necessary.
Copy pasta.
Mhm.
Yeah, copy pasta. I figured that would make things a lot easier. It's got the links that people need and everything else, and a quick description of what we do here. But I really look forward to seeing you guys on Tuesday. Remember, it's gonna be roughly 8 to 12. It'll be Mech Arena, seeing me just kind of play the game. It's, to be honest, it's a non-mandatory stream. So if you can't make it, don't feel bad. No.
You
Hmm?
might need to double check your stuff because you are cutting in and out, and Twitch is
Is
not playing.
Not happening nice.
Ooh,
I've been
Like,
having a
it's
lot.
rough.
yeah.
I've been having a lot of internet issues lately. I'm not sure why. I might need to talk to Dad about it. I've been cutting in and out really, really bad lately.
Yeah,
Has it settled down?
Yes.
a little bit,
A little
but Twitch is
bit.
still
Twitch is finished rebuffering, but
not for me.
I have to.
Because I'm not sure what to do to fix that because
I don't know if that's Twitch or your end. That's the other issue.
that too.
it's not buffering on my end, so.
Stop.
Mine just stopped buffering.
Okay. Back to where was I cut off?
Mech Arena playing it Tuesday.
Okay. I'm gonna be playing Mech Arena from 8 to 12 on Tuesday. I'll add it to the calendar after tonight. I know y'all tend, at least the guys here with me on call, I know you guys have a lot
Hi.
of stuff to do. So, not saying that Sunday nights are mandatory in any way, but if you miss out on Tuesday, don't worry about it.
I will try. That is my DM for D&D night.
That's okay. What matters most is, I mean, if y'all want me to play it and see what it's about, I'd be more than happy to. But I'm not going to record it and keep it.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm not going to. It's just, oh, well, I might.
It's the 4-hour paid programming.
Yeah.
Excuse me for just a minute, please.
Oh,
Okay.
What?
Oh. Baby girl, I'm guessing.
Get out of my room! I'm trying to play Minecraft!
Kate in here.
Hear what now?
Said is Kate in here?
He's here in spirit.
He is
Here in spirit.
existing. I don't know if he's listening to us
Yeah,
or
it's fine.
wants to respond.
Nerd cannot respond.
Just waiting for him to just out of the blue say, I heard all that, by the way.
Well,
Exactly.
I'm waiting to get a DM from him.
Is it a D&D DM?
No. I mean, technically yes, but no.
Well, yes, but actually no. Which brings me to my next point. I vote we put the fairy in a jar.
Excuse me?
That'd be the funniest thing ever, though. Could you just imagine it?
Don't worry, we'll poke holes in the top so you can breathe. A little.
Not going in a jar.
We get into combat, and it's just, alright, wizard in a bottle, go.
Exactly.
The fairy.
You release the death.
Send out the fairies.
Oh my god. Bring that up with
Oh.
Zach, see if... Or with Kate,
Sorry about
see
that.
if
Where
he'll,
was I?
See if he'll put me in a
Um,
damn joke.
Being
We got
interrupted.
sidetracked. We got sidetracked.
We got heavily sidetracked by making a
Okay.
joke about throwing Twilight's character into a bottle and eating her.
Anyway, so what's if you want me to play it throughout the day, another day, I'll do that real quick. I would not encourage you guys to kind of download it immediately. If you want to help me out and participate yourselves, because there's a very specific link you have to click on and da-da-da-da-da-da.
That answers my second question. My first question is mobile or PC?
They're advertising for mobile. I can give you, not mobile, but for PC, I can give you much more details after the stream ends.
Tuesday-ish.
Or
Okay.
Tuesday-ish. And as far as PC is concerned, it's really lightweight. I mean, you're running a mobile game on a PC.
Yeah, it's like Raid.
Yeah.
As far as the specs go.
Yeah. So it shouldn't take up too much.
Yeah.
I have they have me have this little advertisement up in the corner, which is kind of interesting. And the bot that I get through Stream Elements posts information, and I think I'd have to run a commercial or something. But if we can get enough people in and quickly-ish, and they stay long enough to at least try to play, I might try and take up some more opportunities like this in the future. I got hit by Raid and I got hit by HelloFresh. I don't think I'll make the HelloFresh deadline. Raid's like February 21st. HelloFresh is the 25th. I did order a HelloFresh box. So
HelloFresh 25th of this month or next month?
This month.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. So I don't think I'll make it, but I bought a box. I'll take pictures, and if I get the HelloFresh invitation again, I
You've
do
already
it.
got stuff.
Yeah.
The
Makes sense.
I would do HelloFresh as well. I may or may not do Raid. Not sure yet. Not saying Raid's bad. Just not quite something I enjoy super heavily anyway. And they don't let you run two sponsorships at once, which makes sense. Kind of makes sense.
You two at the same time?
Yeah, they won't let you do two at the same time.
Oh, no, I understand that.
Yeah.
I thought they meant like at all.
Oh, no. So, until I get this campaign finished, and I've got the next 5-ish days to get that accomplished. So, kind of limited now. But it is what it is. Like I said, though, this will be a good chance for us to try and get some more people in. Maybe some who are going to sit there for a while. Like Red. And
yeah,
Sapphire when she can hop in.
I don't 100% know about Red, but yeah, maybe Saf.
Well, Red's been
I know
on
her
the
computer is like a
Brit. But Red's been participating the last couple runs, and
he good friend.
So it'll be good to see more people like that who decide to stick around and hang out and enjoy themselves. Other than that, there's not much else going on. At least of immediate relevance. But like I said, let your friends know, let your family know.
Well, Dad's not on Twitch, so.
well, I mean, that's fine. Let your friends know.
The
Let your
neighbor
family.
down the street that you don't talk to normally.
Or at all, because I don't
Or
know
at
any
all.
of my neighbors.
My family is already done with you 5 or 4, however
Oh.
many of you there are.
Okay.
Oh, you
Okay.
lost count of us. Okay, it makes me feel great.
But like I said, spread the word. If you like us, it'll be a good chance for you to kind of help determine some of the content too. Like I said before, I'm open to
That
most
goes to
anything.
you people watching too,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm open
both
to
on
most.
Twitch and on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm open to most things. If I don't want to, I will let you know up front, and then I will not argue over it.
Yo, I vote you play Shower with Your Dad Simulator.
What?
Oh yeah, no, that's a game, isn't it, Andrew or Doggo?
Concerned how
It's
you
a thing.
Yeah.
Pain Dio.
It is a big pain, Dio.
Like I said though,
Don't
Let's-
worry, Twilight. I'll show you proof. Here you go.
more power to our
I don't want it.
patrons.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exciting. It'll be a good chance for us to try and hit affiliate too if we can manage it. Because if we hit
Yeah.
affiliate, it'll give me a lot more access to a lot more fun things that y'all can do too. I got voice mods set up for when we hit Twitch affiliate. And I've got custom gifts and all that jazz that I've kind of found and picked out, and you can have those spammed all over my screen if you felt necessary.
Oh boy, I can't wait to spam stuff all over your screen.
Think it's if I remember right, the program's called Trigger Fire. Ooh,
Not much longer.
about time to start.
Yep.
And there's a new program currently in beta called it's like a AI TTS where they'll take you can narrate things on screen with the narrate words on screen.
Nonsense. That is a terrible idea. You want to know why?
Why? Well, as
The
far
dark
as
times.
from what I have managed to when I looked into it, I couldn't play with it because it's kind of locked right now behind affiliates and beta.
Yeah.
It's stuff that goes through my alerts, and I'm not sure if that applies to alerts that people ping with a very specific message. So I'm not sure people are going to have access to that. But either way,
I know. I kind of know of it, and I've seen it used in a few other streamers that I watch.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite good, and usually they'll put like little notes of just how they're helping or how the streamer is helping, or just little anecdotes or stuff, or they'll just try to trick the streamer into doing whatever.
Now I do have an audio cue already kind of for my alert. That's kind of AI based a little bit. Not like AI based as in an AI algorithm, but an AI sound, if that makes sense. It's kind of like what happens when you kind of like what happens when you're in like a game and you press a button and and the AI says something sassy.
Yeah.
Kind of AI. And
Yeah.
it sounds really lovely. And I just need to splice the sound files from my alerts to make it work. But I'm not sure how that's going to interact with the TTS software, so it'll be something I just kind of have to play with.
Story.
If that makes sense.
That makes sense, actually. Makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense.
There we go. Alrighty. Let's go.
And-
Mission 13. I believe we should be
the
done with
luckiest
this.
number.
I believe we should be done with this tonight, actually.
Hey.
Nice.
Because I think
Longest mission, maybe?
Doggo
think
said
it's-
16 missions.
16 sounds right. Sorry, I don't remember the exact number. I think it was 15, 14, so 16's in that ballpark.
How dare you not remember?
What?
What I miss?
Are you beatboxing now?
Always trying to blame me for something I shouldn't be responsible for.
How dare.
I do.
You know what? You know what? Let me tell you guys a story about what Twilight did today.
How
Oh,
about
do tell.
we not say that story?
Because I feel like if Twilight's gonna give Doggo some crap for
I'm
things
allowed
he
to.
shouldn't have to keep track of, maybe we should give Twilight crap for something she shouldn't have to keep track of, right? Sound fair?
I have full permission to give Andrew crap for it.
Okay,
Doggo.
so
No, you do not.
now
Doggo.
I'm
Sorry.
so I got done with dinner around 7:30.
I'm seeing 14, by the way. I'm seeing 14.
14 missions? Okay.
I was like, so I'm sitting there in my void about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and I got this new headset sound tweak that I just finished working on that makes music sound beast in just surround sound mode. And I'm listening to stuff like Metallica. I'm listening to stuff like Five Finger Death Punch, and I am in the mood, a good mood, and I am not that good mood, not that far. I am rocking out. I'm just super vibing, and I'm minding my own business, and I'm working on D&D. I'm finishing up stuff for this
Vanguard Squadron backed into a
for
corner.
getting
Lyndon
this
Chase has made
Tuesday
his
stream
last
running.
mistake.
Continue a
We
minute.
have confirmation that Lyndon has joined the fray. That's not all. He's leading the same rebel squadron we decimated at
There we go.
Moncala. This is a calculated move. Lyndon wants me to do something reckless. He thinks he knows me, but he's wrong. We're not going to take the bait. Titan Squadron will focus on our real target.
You move a
the
lot
Starhawk.
faster than
Admiral
you look.
Sloane is counting on us. I wish I could deal with Lyndon personally, but a commander's true weapon is a squadron, not a starfighter. Go. Complete your mission. And if you get Lyndon in your sights, strike him down once and for all.
So I'm working hard, and I get this Discord ping,
Briefing is about
Bing.
to start.
and I'm like, what's going on here? What's all this? And Twilight comes flying in out of nowhere. It's like, hey Phil. I'm like, what?
What happened?
Are you
What happened?
are you streaming tonight? I'm like,
Briefing is about to start.
yeah. Why? And I look down at the time. It's only 8:30. I'm like,
AM.
in the, oh God.
Yeah.
8:30.
It's only 8:30 AM.
8:30 p.m. and I'm Eastern Standard Time, and like,
Everyone here for the briefing.
why?
Poor K.
Why? And she
Just
was
wanted to make sure.
just like, just wanted to make sure. I'm like, oh, I mean, I would have told you if, I wasn't. And
Would
then,
have been an announcement.
Is everyone here
right?
for the
And then
Yeah,
she
I
was
checked
just
the
like,
calendar.
she was like, and then I'm like, okay. And then she gets all aggressive. She's like, well, I looked at the calendar. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Hey.
Like, comes off all aggressive.
Let's not
I'm
keep
like,
Captain Kill waiting.
and she was like, oh, I also asked Cade and Doggo. I'm like, wait, huh? And what did they say? They both said yes. And I'm like,
The briefing is about to
Then
start.
why ask?
I just wanted to make sure.
I'm sitting here, I'm just like, but why?
Confusion intensifies.
My brain hurty.
Yeah, so did mine after talking to you guys.
So I hop in the chat with them both. They're both like, but why? And the only answer she could give off was, cause I wanted to be sure.
I really just wanted to be sure. That's it. That is my answer.
Well, from a psychological
Poor
perspective,
K.
you would only
no.
ask to be sure if there was a layer of uncertainty. And to me, from my personal opinion, when someone tells you twice, yes, unless the person involved is wishy-washy. Yeah.
No, it's a lot more than just a thing of uncertainty. There's also some distrust here, apparently.
Look,
Well.
comes out of nowhere.
Well, I know personally, I would never say anything that would be anyone in trouble or have any issues with me. Unless it's D&D, and at which point all bets are off. I'm the DM, you can't know anything anyway.
Yeah, because just being the DM, you kind of have to withhold information.
Exactly. But outside
to
of
a degree.
I will never withhold information unless, it's not concerning you for some reason. It's not concerning you or the person I got the information from doesn't want you to know.
Our moment of
Yes.
victory is at hand.
So
The Temperance has
now
broken
I can
off
dredge up
relatively
more
matter.
risque things from our chat history, but I will keep those in the box for
Yeah,
later.
you better.
Oh,
You better.
those stay in the 18 plus chat. Thank you very much.
Yes. Yes, they do.
I could probably
Stay
just
there.
post. I could probably post a whole paper's worth of sketch stuff that she
Essay?
has said.
An essay?
Please, especially recently, please don't.
Starhawk will not be easy.
Oh, so things got interesting.
No, nothing got interesting.
Now, if I went to another of our,
Except everything. Except everything.
now, if I went to a friend of our vape server,
No.
Destroy them.
that's where stuff gets saucy.
No. No, it doesn't.
And that's part of why we have a quote chat.
I'm a good noodle.
As good as Willie is.
Don't compare me to him.
Jeez, okie dokie.
That got extra aggressive real quick.
What did poor Willie ever do to you?
He didn't do nothing to me. I love Willie. He's awesome.
Do what you must to start a core overload.
Well,
and then escape to the overseer while there's still time.
someone needs to. He keeps pulling stuff out on other people in chat, thinking he's gonna get away with it. And I'm just sitting here. Are you aggressively implying that you want to do the hurt? Because I am more than happy to like peel up my long sleeves, take off my white gloves, and slap you with them.
Oh my.
This is it. Destroying that Starhawk makes us heroes.
Ooh, we have a third
And heroes
viewer.
have influence. A smart
State
person
design
can
name.
parlay that influence. Become Admiral Sloane's aide, perhaps. Once in the heart of Imperial power, you
Not
can
on
guide
Twitch.
it.
Wait.
From there, anything's
Oof.
possible.
If
Even
you
the
stated your name
foundations of a
anyway, good
new
job.
sense.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Now all
No,
we
I'm
have to
keeping
do
an eye
is
out for it. I'm not sure
Oh,
who it
don't
is.
worry. I'm not losing sight of what we must do.
Absolutely.
This is about more than ending
You know,
a true future for the Empire. Beyond Death Stars and Rebels
I gotta-
is within our
I
grasp.
got a question for y'all,
This is
actually.
what I'm fighting for.
42.
Whatever
That
you're
would be
fighting for,
a
remain
correct
this
answer.
way.
And that
Ah.
would be an incorrect answer.
Damn.
So I noticed for YouTube and I noticed for Twitch that you can like and or subscribe to a channel but not share who you are. Is that like a setting you can use, or is that a something that
As
just
in,
like when I go into my like Twitch information for people who may have followed or whatnot, I can get y'all's names and I see y'all's names. But it does not add up to the numerical of who in total is actually
watching
watching
at a time,
or is following the channel as a whole. And the same kind of goes for YouTube.
If I didn't point out that our odds of
I
success
think
are
that's
lower than usual.
just because
Are you
it's a
saying
statistic
Titan's
more
squadron is
than
no match for a broken down rebel
who
fleet?
and what, you know?
Oh,
Okay, because
no, not at all. Your
for
record
me,
is very impressive.
they can
It's
change
just that these rebels are
oh,
desperate.
they can?
their
That makes
display
them
name.
especially
Yeah,
dangerous.
I just saw that.
Okay.
That
A valid
only thing I
observation,
can really find.
NT514.
So theoretically, they could literally
I
just set it
expect you
to
to keep it in mind.
blank. Well, probably not blank, but you know, something
Mhm.
else.
This posting
Okay.
doesn't
Because
have
I
to
think
be
it's just because that
reflective of who I
information
am
is
in the
just
future.
for
And I
statistics,
discovered how
not
little I really knew.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Now I have enough material
The
to
reason-
anything beyond, you know, how many.
databank on Titan
Well,
Squadron.
at the end of
And
the day,
yourself
if there
in
are
particular.
like 14 subscribers or there's
Watching
like
Hunt Rebels has
14
been
people
very
liked
educational.
who liked my channel,
Rather fun.
I
Thank you.
would really like
It's
to
been an
have
honor
the
to observe.
opportunity to
You've made yourself
thank them by
indispensable.
name, you know?
Titan Squadron
Right.
would not have been the same without
So I
you.
was just kind of curious.
When I called you to serve, you answered without hesitation. I won't forget
I
it.
got nothing, honestly.
The battle is waiting.
I
Do
mean,
not disappoint me.
end of the day,
I've never
it's-
really messed with it too much either,
Yeah.
so.
At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. But it's just, out of curiosity, really.
Ugh.
Anvil Squadron makes no difference. Once the Starhawk is gone, we'll be one step closer to ending this war. But the end of the war doesn't mean the end of our duty, does it?
Oh.
Captain Carroll may be satisfied with destroying the Starhawk, but it's only one ship. Enemies of the Empire exist all across the galaxy.
Huh.
I'll deal with them myself if I have to. Sounds like a
Security
good
and
retirement
privacy
to me.
has hide subscription status and chat
finish
viewer
this.
card.
That could be it right there.
Do not show your subscription status, tier, or duration for any particular channel in your profile or that card.
The war goes on. Didn't stop at Endor. Won't end with the Starhawk.
I mean, again, like I said, I'm not
Destroyed.
upset by it or annoyed by it.
Yeah.
I've lived it.
It's just,
They need
like I said,
soldiers,
we're just
pilots.
starting, and
Always
I
have,
think it's important that they're
always will.
thanked
Rebels or Republic.
and that they have a,
We
you
know our
know,
duty.
that they know that they can
Take strength
take
in that.
ownership of this just as much as we can.
I'll follow.
Right. I know with some other viewers, whenever they pop, whenever someone pops like a subscription, so like they subscribe for X number of months or something,
Mm-hmm.
it'll actually pop up on the screen, for the streamer, and then that person, the streamer, will actually read off, "Hey, thanks so and so for subscribing for
Mhm.
8 months, 32 months, 1 month." Whatever.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
possibility for the future.
I mean, all of that is set up and ready to go. All those alerts should hit. Should hit. Most of them should hit once I reach affiliate. But it's hard to kind of figure out if it's working or not because we're still very small.
Right.
Need that coveted affiliate.
Mm-hmm. Like I understand the point of reaching affiliate is to make sure that people actually take this seriously and it's not just a joke where just any Joe Blow could take advantage of the entire suite that they have to offer if they're not going to take it seriously.
Yeah.
But I just
Personally,
really
I feel like it should be struck in with a time-based thing. So if you stream for a solid year, which at this point I'm pretty sure you have, I think that should be a strong contender for
yeah.
good affiliate. But that's just me.
I honestly I'm not heavily bothered by it.
Right.
It's just, you know, it would make being able to interact and bring people in, I think, a lot easier. And it'll give me a lot more options to take advantage of, too. And I really want to be able to do that because even though I'm just doing this in my spare time, it's only a once a week kind of thing. I think it's important that people see that they should enjoy this as much as I do.
I've come to expect nothing less. The Starhawk is straight ahead, but you will have to cut through the Republic fleet to reach it. Overseer to Imperial Raider, help Titan break through the Republic lines.
It's about to be interesting.
Moving to position. Heads up, incoming fighters.
You know, something to
Destroy those fighters now.
something to really admire is legitimately how effective the rebels were at surviving a lot of these encounters, even when the chips are as down as they are right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Really just shows the rebellion's tenacity. It's a good word for it.
Tenacity, their resourcefulness, and they're the understanding really of a bigger picture too. Because a lot of, you know, a lot of big entities like the Empire, when they lose
their central structure, just
that kind of stuff, things that are like almost, you know, so important that
highly important for them. Yeah.
They like almost crumple, and yet the rebels are just so capable of just finding a way to bounce back and trying to put a positive spin on these things.
Yeah, I think the easiest way to put it is that the Empire puts so much importance on one individual piece. So like the Death Star, or this specific Star Destroyer, or this secret weapon, or whatever. Whereas the Rebels find everything is important, and everything is equally important.
And that while a loss is felt, they wish to use that opportunity to try and make it right.
Future endeavors.
which is something to really admire and to really appreciate about the yin-yang relationship of the Empire versus the Rebellion and the continued kind of relationship as we headed into the New Republic era and as the Empire tries to
rebuild.
Yeah, from what's left.
Neither stood a chance.
Well, I'm not sure that's what the right starship it was supposed to go for, but okay.
It works.
This game honestly just makes me always want to go back and play the old Empire. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way.
You said you paid for attacking Mon Cala, Titan. When your empire finally crumbles, you won't be there to see it.
You know,
Find out. Thanks.
you talk a lot of stuff.
Try that again. Excellent work.
Sweet victory.
Now back in the fight.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's it. A secondary class Star Destroyer. Essentially, more firepower, iron cannons, bigger,
Enemy frigates on full offensive. Keep your distance.
Neat.
Drawing fire.
Oh,
You know,
I didn't realize.
think you're
Yeah.
leaving the battlefield.
Bugger. Didn't realize that until it was a little too late.
A little arrow.
Incoming fighters.
I wasn't paying attention to it. Not even gonna lie.
Anvil leader to Titan. You should have wiped us out of Mon Cala.
Thanks for the second chance.
Looking for me, Teresa. I'll just be over here with the rest of them. Taking out this Star Destroyer. It's a shame you won't come face me.
Traitor! How dare you?
Well, I mean, and if you think about where they came from, Rebels kind of came out of the Clone Wars. I mean, if I recall right, the whole history of Star Wars as we know it, if we looked at just the movie saga,
A lot of it really just stems almost immediately after Clone Wars.
it was like 8 years in total, which is almost no time.
Like, yeah, you had Episode 1 and Episode 2, but again, a lot of it just really, those first two, especially the first one, just didn't feel the same as anything else after or before it.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Like,
even,
going off to the thing, like, this is like not long after this happened, so there's still close alive.
you talk about in this game?
Oh no, yeah, this game versus
Neither stood a chance.
Empire stuff.
If I remember right, it's post second Death Star.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most
This
still
is after
alive.
Endor.
No made corrections.
Well, which is interesting because, you know, there was a reason why, there's like advanced reason why, in many layers of it actually, why the clones are dead and not in the part of this era right now. They're either incredibly old because they had a very high aging rate. They were designed to age quickly so they could be put out onto the field quickly. And so their lifespans are actually significantly shorter. And then when it came to cloning, the more they cloned them, the more dilapidated the genetic structure became. The only
Well,
clone...
considering how many clones they were able to pump out is just astonishing.
And then if you think about it, I want to say the only one left that could provide a viable genetic sample, and plenty of it, would be Boba Fett. Because he refuses.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, he was completely unmodified. And I want to say he was actually from the initial batch to begin with.
But no, Boba Fett was part of a special batch. It was part of Jango's deal.
Jango requested specifically to have Boba Fett made.
Well, I know that. What I'm saying is, when was he cooked up? Was it during when the other clones were being cooked up in the first major batch of them, or was it in later batches? Because that really heavily determines the effectiveness of his DNA structure and them being able to reuse it. Does that make sense?
Pulling it up.
Yeah, it does.
Next time, I'll open this.
Oh, you saucy wench, you. You want me to work for it?
Oh my.
So that's an interesting thing.
What's up?
How many of you have been watching The Bad Batch?
Nah, I've gotten through the first season. I haven't started watching the second one yet.
Okay. So you know about Omega then?
Yes, I'm aware of Omega.
And how she was, also technically a clone and everything.
Yeah.
Apparently biological twin.
Really?
Apparently.
Explains a lot.
Yeah.
But like I said though, coming off the Clone Wars and the kind of technology they had, while it's kind of inferior to a certain extent to what the Galactic Empire has right now, imagine equipping them with what they have now and how dangerous they could be. I've always honestly preferred the aesthetic of the Clone Wars and that era of design than I have actually ever really enjoyed the Imperial look. I like the gentle curves and a lot of it's like a golden age kind of design versus functional, which is what the Empire always tried to strive for. It was purely functional. They never really heavily focused on
fucking ads.
never really focused on having comfort.
For the Empire, it really depends on who you serve.
Oh, really?
Standard-wise, yeah, they wouldn't really become comfort, but if you were under Thrawn, who was terrifying for the rebels, but for the Imperial soldiers, Thrawn commanded the most respect of his fleet.
Oh, that's true.
To the point where he actually allowed a lot of his soldiers to make custom additions to their fighters, so long as they were approved and it was deemed as an efficient upgrade in Thrawn's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Which is where we've gotten stories of Thrawn having bombers that are just as fast as an interceptor with more firepower.
Oh, good grief. Well, I mean, I knew Thrawn was like a tactical genius, but I never knew that he was as well beloved by his fleet, I guess.
Boba was the first.
Okay.
Although he was born a clone, Alpha regarded Jango as his father. He likewise viewed the boy as his son. Soon after referred to as Boba, he was the first of many clones modeled on the Jango Fett template. It was only one of 2 known clones that were pure genetic copies of the original Fett template, the other being Omega.
Well, that
And
answers
he
that
doesn't
question.
have the genetic modifications of like behavioral
Yeah.
conditioning and growth acceleration, so. Which means Omega probably
Right. Especially if she's considered to be his twin, like you said.
does either.
Yeah, that's really what made Thrawn most good. Being a tactical genius. He was also not one to allow his soldiers to ever throw themselves into an issue where they couldn't win.
Yeah.
Even if it was like, oh, sacrifice push response. No, we're not doing that because the way they've been upgrading their systems is they are far too valuable. You need to fight yourself.
Mhm.
Anything any sacrifice will happen. When you pull people back from the
Focus your fire on the frigate.
Well, not only
Also,
that,
wasn't confident you were being an idiot on your own terms.
what really made him super scary, in my opinion, too, was the fact that he could walk into a combat, into a fight in the Navy, in space, and lose at most one capital
Without a
ship.
space.
Lose at most one capital ship, and somehow manage to get out of it with with a brutal defeat on the rebellion's part. Like there was one point where, yeah.
I was just gonna ask because I zoned out while trying to look up the Boba Fett stuff. Who were we talking about?
Thrawn.
Gentleman
Admiral.
by Grand Admiral Thrawn. He
Grand Admiral. That's
yes.
right, he was Grand
He is a Chiss general. Blue people. The blue people.
Okay.
Blue people who existed on the edges of galactic space and wiped out when they used on Long as soon as they came in.
Yes. They are from the very close to the unknown regions, yes.
Yes, I see now. I see.
He was the only alien that Palpatine employed in his military and kept it that way. He was just that good of a tactician.
What was his name?
Also one of the only 2 people in the Imperium outside of Palpatine that knew Vader was Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
What was the bounty hunter? Clone Wars bounty hunter reappeared in Mandalorian. Cad Bane was a Chiss, right? No.
He's a different species.
Yeah. Pretty sure he was different species. I could be wrong though.
He's a
Hold up
Duros.
just to be sure. Yeah, Duros.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Duros.
They look similar, though.
Yeah.
You gotta admit.
Sure. Yeah, the Chiss are more human and have the human-like eyes instead of the coloration.
Just the tiefling red eye type thing.
Yeah, the Duros have the bug eye.
Which I still feel they did very well with the Mandalorian
Yeah.
depiction of them.
Very, very
Oh,
Honestly, I'm kind of disappointed that Cad Bane died the way he did. Not saying it wasn't a worthwhile death. It was like he had been in the
Yeah.
Clone Wars for so long and was
But
so
here's the
good at
thing.
running away.
Here's the thing, though. Clone Wars to Mandalorian is
Oh, I know. Like,
all of the first 3 movies.
well, I mean, I get that. And I'm not saying that it wasn't a good chance for him to kick the bucket. It was just like, it just kind of following Clone Wars, following his escapades a little bit, and I think Rebels occasionally when he pops up.
Yeah. Hello, Destiny.
Hey!
Hello.
The thing about Cad Bane, especially,
Need to breach the Starhawk's hold to get inside.
the reason why he was so freaking scary in
I'm
the
picking
Clone
up
Wars,
something on radar.
all of his stuff and a lot of his equipment and skill sets were specifically tailored to combat Force users.
Titan, stay alert. More enemy
Had
capital ships are
particular
incoming.
bullets built that he had paid for to cut off lightsabers. He had those breathing tubes were to prevent himself from being force choked.
Anvil Squadron,
Mhm.
rally around our reinforcements.
A lot of his stuff was designed to just handle Force users because they were usually taking on enemies and killing them.
I'm gonna need a bomber.
Throw out all that time to have his skills look kind of go away, but that he's still overly specialized like that.
I did.
Go against Jenga or Boba, who at this point has become more well-rounded.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
Since
I call
Force
these
users are
ships
no
from the
longer a
Borneo
thing,
sector.
and he is more of a just terrifying
Here they
Mandalorian
are.
bounty hunter. Even at their advanced age, there's enough of a difference for Jango to feel a victory.
Commander James,
Jango,
we have Imperial
Boba.
reinforcements
Boba,
incoming to our
sorry.
location. You've got
Same
this,
freaking
Emperor. They're desperate.
Just
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
Spencer.
again, and I'm not, it's just like, it just felt quite literally the death of a legend,
have-
and I kind
Yeah.
of wish he had blown up a bit more, if that makes any sense.
You wish he had went out in a bit more
Yeah,
grandiose way.
yeah. Now, I'm not saying that what they did was bad or anything like that. No, I quite appreciate how hard he had to fight to, kind of get that far.
Taking heavy fire.
Yeah.
I say you owe me one.
I mean, I kind of agree. The only thing I think that would have been up there was the Cad Bane Mandalorian is being thrown by the Ring of Fire.
True.
No other death. Fuck you. Throw him.
Rancor Ex Machina.
Taking damage.
I'll give them that. I'll give them that though. That Rancor ate things.
Oh my god.
That's the worst thing about that Rancor is like they show it one time, show that he's interested in learning, but there's nothing else there. Or then it just appears.
He's just
and
like, oh, you are a friend.
That's I feel they kept the Rancor in to learn how to control payment.
That's a hit. Second enemy corvette is coming apart.
They go to more interesting have a different Rancor than the ones from Tatooine, but yeah.
Thank me later.
We'll get one from Hoth.
Felucia, preferably.
Yeah.
They're a lot bigger there.
But it was just like, you know, now personally, something that bugs me a little bit.
No trouble.
Not in like a bad way, just kind of a,
Corvette is destroyed.
and a very,
In a very this is weird kind of thing.
was how much hate they gave Boba Fett. They were always trying to I felt like they were always trying to compare it to The Mandalorian, how good The Mandalorian was.
Yeah. Even during Boba's own show, it was like there were 2 episodes where it was no Boba Fett whatsoever. It's just like, okay. The name of the show is Book of Boba Fett, not Return of Mandalorian.
And that was the only thing they could do to keep the viewership running, because everybody I think what happened was everybody just wanted want a Mandalorian. They want a Mandalorian. They want a Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Now, from a story point perspective, it made sense that they placed what they did with the Mandalorian where it was. Because otherwise, he would not have been able to effectively make it to where he had been to help them out later down the road. And it gave us some ideas of what he was doing, what he was doing when, you know, he wasn't on screen. Which I think was a good thing. I think it was from a story, it was smart. It kept the viewership there. There we go.
They had to kind of do it.
Yeah.
All of this stuff. And I'm glad they did what they did. And while I did enjoy when you introduced Jindar and Mandalorian, made him as interesting of a character as he was, especially since they weren't straying away from all of the additional stuff and lore they kind of created during the Clone Wars about the Maul, the Maul Mandalorians. It was very interesting to see this character kind of go, oh, okay, he follows this plan, this kind of pathway, which means he's going to be a very dangerous person in combat.
Mm-hmm.
Still just flying as fast as you can into that hangar.
Yeah.
And it
just
Follow me.
shows because he's either beating you up with a staff or he's shooting you with a disintegrator rifle, which is not allowed anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Because they built it from Imperial Durasteel.
It just boom.
But what really irked me at the end of the day was how much junk they gave the Book of Boba Fett. And I'll admit that it was very slow to start, but at the same time, they were setting a atmosphere. They were setting up what made Boba tick, why it made him tick, why he was doing the things he's doing. I think at the end of the...
I love that, especially from the flashbacks that they have in the show. And I think the flashbacks are probably some of the best things that they did for it.
And not only that, but two, I think for me, it really showed kind of how different the Mandalorian and Boba Fett were. And I feel that that difference is just so important.
Dark.
And from a character building perspective, it didn't make any sense why they would run the show the same way they would... Oh, bugger. They would the Mandalorian. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so it was just... It bugged me. Because, you know, Boba even admitted to himself he's getting old. He wants to establish a legacy. He wants to establish something's going to last when he's not there.
He realized he wanted to do something like Django did. It's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Attractive means containment is... Look, just get to the core and watch
out for
additional anomalies.
Whee! Boost thrusters if you need to, but remember, the tight space will make that tricky. Don't forget to give yourself room to decelerate.
Commander, a Titan starfighter just breached the Starhawk's hull. They're inside. Copy, Ender Leader. Teresa, what are you up to?
So, you know...
What I began at Nadiri.
It really affected, I think, a lot of decisions they could have made about that show. And I really hope that they don't use that, the fan base as a direct reason to just cancel it. Because it was such a good... it was
breath of fresh air.
Breath of fresh air. Yeah.
Use your boost thrusters if you have to.
Well, I guess I'll die here.
You're supposed to not scrape the walls.
Well, it's very hard not to scrape the walls when you can't move like you're supposed to.
Supposed to fly into it,
I was
not
trying.
into the wall.
I'm sorry.
Just go around the
Boost thrusters
guns.
if you need to. But remember, the tight space will make that tricky. Don't forget to give yourself room to decelerate.
Commander, a Titan starfighter just breached the star.
So, you know, and then, you know, they released Andor. And,
What are you up to?
you know,
It took place during a different time.
and I think Andor, I think a lot of people liked Andor, which made me happy because Andor, I was wondering if Andor was going to be the kind of the right
Move.
Yep.
mhm.
Titan 3, throttle down.
And then so many
Inside that core.
people gave Kenobi so much junk too.
Obi-Wan.
Whoa!
I don't have issues with it. I have issues with the people that questioned it,
Because,
and I'll cover that in just a sec.
you know, and I talked to a lot of people, they're like, oh, well, they're retconning this, retconning that, they're doing this and that and this. And I'm just kind of like, why? They gave you something as a plot point and a plot thread, and you're immediately questioning that they can't do that? Like, just because you think that it defeats canon? Defeats the purpose of what was supposed
Let's put it this way. Would you rather this be canon or episode 9? Those are your options. Have fun.
Yes, core it.
My personal.
Wait.
Kenobi was
Per-
The core is about to release.
You're personally what?
I personally enjoyed Kenobi. Kenobi was very
I loved
Same.
Kenobi. Like,
My
They-
thing with it is people don't understand that at the very beginning, he is a essentially retired Jedi because look at all the shit that he just had to deal with
he
mentally.
he had.
And they're just like, oh no, he should be perfectly fine. He's a Jedi. It's like, no, he's not.
he,
That's the thing of like that's the whole point, like the Clone Wars series, and everyone was trying to say, and like they tried to set up is like, hey, the Jedi are fucking infallible, but they're also not robots, as they try to show you. Where even Kenobi's like, no, there were moments in the series where he was like, no, there were moments where anyone said something else, I would have left her like right off the bat.
Not the walls nonsense.
I clipped a tiny thing, and it was like, aha, you are not away from the wall. Therefore, not for you.
That was the thing that was like, what was the episode of the Mandalorian ambassador, whoever it was,
Reading a spike in the core.
where Kenobi was like, when he told Anakin, he's like, no, I actually had feelings.
Yeah,
Honestly, if
Yeah.
she had said jump, I would have said okay.
it was the Mandalorian about, yeah.
Sentinels are offline.
Yeah, she was like, she said jump, I would have been like, yep, bye.
Yep. How high? Not even just how high. She's like, okay, boing.
Yeah,
Well-
he would have just, he literally said I would have left the.
And I think, you know, and then they're like, oh, this girl couldn't have had no way of knowing Kenobi, and I'm like, this show just bloody started, and you're having a nitpick over a plot line that they're trying to explore. Like, it just felt like they were giving it extra hate, and it felt like they were giving it extra hate because it wasn't The Mandalorian. Some days it felt like.
It's not even that. It's the fact
Like-
that they're trying to think that Disney was like, you know, all Legends is gone. Disney kept a lot of Legends that was at least concerning, like, the main movie. and stuff between them. It kept all that legend stuff. The only legends it got rid of is the pre-Republic era and like past it. That's the only shit they got rid of.
So, you know,
and I think they're still looking into doing something with Pre-Republic. Because I think there was something that we're supposed to be getting that takes place during the High Order? No.
well, I think
Maybe.
they realized they made a mistake with the sequel trilogy. So I think they're gonna want to.
Not the walls!
Okay. Okay, I was like, don't tell me I somehow managed to get out of it before I killed myself.
Oh no. Just kaboom!
Just
The
kaboom.
body went flying. Whatever they choose to do. And that's where I was looking at these people and was like, this is not long after the Clone Wars, but Kenobi is not that old.
It's like, I think 7 years tops after or something.
But probably. And at this point, like, they're still hunting Jedi. The Inquisitors are still a thing. They know about Kenobi because Vader's Vader was not at all convinced Kenobi was dead.
10 years. 10 years after Episode 3.
He was what, 30?
Yeah, it would have been about.
Not in the Kenobi series, but 30 in during the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that sounds about right.
It's been 40.
Ben.
And he was not at all convinced that Vader was not convinced that Kenobi was dead.
I do have one thing that I have as a small nitpick, and it has nothing to do with the internals of the show. Nice! It's that the names of the episodes are Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. It's like, you could at least put something else there, please.
I will say they gave us the true fear of Vader again.
Yeah,
Something
that
that
and his...
Since Rogue One.
Yeah, that and like his drum flair for the dramatic.
Well, Kenobi as a whole, I feel like, was a wonderful addition to Kenobi in general, because you could tell that in Episode 3 he was very conflicted, and he hadn't been as damaged, but he was incredibly conflicted. And then he goes from incredibly conflicted to, in Episode 4, very kind of calm and tired and at peace.
More back to his Jedi ways, but not completely there yet. Remember, not the walls.
Look, I will not promise anything.
That's it.
You know, that was not my fault. I swear.
Stop hitting the walls.
Twilight, would you like me to introduce you to the wall?
I mean, hot.
Didn't realize she was into that, but okay. I mean, I don't judge.
Does it surprise you? Does it surprise you?
The fact you're into a wall?
No! No!
I asked if you want to be introduced to a wall. You're like, hot. So I guess you're somewhat attracted by walls.
No.
No. Let's put it this way. Step bro, don't put me through the wall. Am I wrong?
Either way, it's not helpful for her.
I'll tell you later. Jesus.
God forbid it's Ganondorf from Smash Brothers. Introduced her to the ground that way too.
Not the wall.
Stop hitting the wall.
I might just hit the wall on purpose just to spite you.
That is
Go ahead. Go forth, good sir. Have fun.
I just might.
I'm just telling you this so you can actually continue with the mission.
Well, Well, I'm trying to, I promise, but a lot of these circles are misaligned.
Oh.
So there is not a straight shot.
Mm-hmm.
I might have to fly with my mouse and keyboard for this.
How the heck did I call that?
Should be close to the quartz emitters. Zero in and fire. Stay away from the center.
Reading a spike in the core. Keep going.
But and then another thing too is that we never really got a lot of input about how Kenobi trained under Qui-Gon the way he did either. And his journey to accept himself before he can move on is its own sense of brilliance. Because the Force does work in that way. If you forsake it, it's not going to give you what you need. But if you learn to accept it again, it'll come through. And just having it come through in the way it did for Kenobi, just it felt fitting. If that makes sense.
Steer carefully.
Not the wall.
Okay. I get it. I promise I'm not purposely hitting the wall. Oh, wait. That I forgot the controls were a bit whippy woppy.
No, that time you did.
I forgot the up is down and down is up.
Invert.
Yeah.
Up, down is up, and left is right.
Yes.
Press spacebar for
Usually keep it as
accessibility
vertical
options.
invert only.
Well, the whole thing was inverted when I went to
joystick.
Yeah. Alright. See if I can remember how to do this. But like I said,
Reading a spike in the core. Keep going.
I really like Kenobi, and I wish it hadn't gotten as much hate as it did. And I feel like, you know, for shows like this, especially ones that Filoni is directing or co-directing or advising, you kind of have to give it a minute, because he clearly knows what he's doing. He clearly knows what he needs to do to get put people in the right place to do the right things. And it just, you know, it just upset me that they never gave Kenobi the kind of chance I felt that he needed. And I'm hoping that they gave Andor that chance. I hope they give Ahsoka that chance in whichever series that,
I think Ahsoka's gonna do much better, in all honesty, in the long run.
Fuck. Okay. I did a bit better that time. I went through 4.
It makes you feel... Yeah. It makes you feel any
4.
better. Most of the reviews seem to be placing it at a solid 8.
Good.
Andor's light, which is good. Andor's
Reading a spike in the core.
There's been a lot of hate for light things. Sometimes it's deserved, like Velma, and other times it's not, like Rings of Power.
What the fuck?
Well, Velma.
No, it's just a thing of... Oh my god.
Oh, I about to say, because Velma was its own little,
issue pot.
Mess. I don't think anybody knew what on earth they were trying to do with Velma.
Stuart Heritage from The Guardian criticized the slower pace of the first episode, but praised the action sequences of the second, talking about Obi-Wan. Comparing it to John Wick.
Which is not supposed to be compared to.
Both Brian Truitt from USA Today and Stephen Kelly from the BBC also compared the series to John Wick.
Center yourself with the
So I'm
entrance.
very
You can ride the shockwave out. It might be tricky.
confused at that part.
Relax.
I
Stay nimble.
don't know.
This is the reason why you don't listen to freaking anyone who does any sort of like a critique or something like that anymore with the TV show. It's paid. It's either paid or they don't know what the hell they're trying to compare
The
it to.
gravity fluctuations
Black
might not
Reel
be
Awards
on
for
course.
television. It won Outstanding Supporting Actress and TV Movie / Limited Series for Moses Ingram. Golden Trailer Awards, Best Action for a TV / Streaming Series, which it also won.
God
Oh, so close. For the Saturn Awards, it won Best Limited Event Series Streaming, Best Supporting Actress in a Streaming Series, and Best Guest Performance in a Streaming Series for Hayden Christensen. And then it was nominated for Best Actor in a Streaming Series and Best Performance by a Young Actor Streaming.
This is the thing I've always said, especially with Star Wars. The prequel trilogy was always the one that you understand just the differences and stuff. That is, you can't hate the actors for how they have to play characters, because it's not their fault. I mean, for God's sake, have Samuel L. motherfucking Jackson playing Mace Windu, and you're giving him the most straight, boring lines ever.
You can ride the shockwave out. It might be tricky.
It's like, the dude doesn't even look comfortable saying that stuff, but he's got to.
At least he got the purple lightsaber.
Yeah, it's like, I'll do it, I'll continue doing it, but give me a purple lightsaber, give me what I want.
Steer carefully.
And Hayden
The
Christensen,
gravity
who was a
fluctuations
very
might
good
knock you
actor,
off course.
was given really bad
Titan
lines.
3, brace yourself.
I hate sand.
I do.
Hate
I hate sand. It's coarse and rough, and it gets everywhere. Boing.
I really shouldn't have flown in this with the TIE
other
fighter.
Big one. Yeah.
I mean,
I
it wouldn't
think-
have mattered.
Maybe a little bit.
This would be a good
I
point
think
for a
the,
montage.
Stay away from the center. Try to ride the flow.
Yeah. I think that the little kid from the first one, I think they could have done better.
Yeah, but again, that's the issue with child.
Just that's the only exception.
That's always going to be a little bit of a mixed bag. Sometimes the kid was okay, other times
It's working.
I think Canada's hack is you're supposed to have like this massive thing screaming over him, so he's got to shout as loud as he can.
What
Just
was
didn't have any sort of information, any sort of like inflection in his voice.
what movie was it where they had the big fight scene with Vader on the runner? That was
Runner?
the Rebels,
Runner?
the Rebel movie, the big one. What was that one called?
Rogue One?
Rogue One, thank you.
One?
Rogue One.
Where they had Vader just appear in a
Which, to be fair, kind of terrifying. Oh god.
I got
You can do it.
closer.
Oh.
I got closer.
Well, that's the thing, especially when you do any of the research and you kind of look at what's going on there, and you realize the ship's not moving because Vader doesn't want it to. And all this other stuff is happening, and Vader's just like, you're all dead.
And this is the guy that's, you know, trained Starkiller. You remember Starkiller?
All of the Inquisitors,
Yeah.
principally trained by Vader. And it's like, all of them are terrified of Vader. For reason.
Yeah.
Was The Force Unleashed considered canon or non-canon before they reworked the entire Star Wars canon?
Legends.
You think it was Legend?
Legends. It's not that it was considered entirely non-canon.
Okay, so it's considered Legends?
Yeah.
Okay.
You look through Legends and you'll find all the Force Unleashed stuff.
Okay, making sure. Because it could fit, but there would be way too many plot holes that they had to fill in.
Brace yourself.
Really?
Well, I feel that way because Star Killer, I think in the there we go.
Hey, you did it.
The way
I think Star Killer, either in the first game or the
There
second
it
game,
is.
helped.
they were going to work it.
has become a time bomb.
Was
Nothing can stop it from overloading now.
partly responsible for getting the Rebel Alliance started.
Destroy it down. More of our people saved. And we're just getting started.
Or at least in part of giving them the options.
Don't you dare fight Jays without
Fair.
me.
You'll have to go through us first.
Press
And that
the
could
B key twice for
eat
press
Mhm.
space
the
bar
Andor
for
stuff takes
accessibility
place.
options.
Which
Titan 3, we're pinned down.
he would essentially just been the apprentice Vader took them to
I give you a chance at Foster Games. I wish you
After you moved what?
Well, because once they were pretty sure most of the Jedi were dead, Vader killed all of the Inquisitors, the High Inquisitor.
Oh yeah, that's true. He did, didn't he?
And yeah, that's when they were all killed. And at that point, I think he still would have
countering missile.
been going to Kashyyyk to do this stuff and found Star Killer.
Missile countered.
From there.
Keep wasting missiles.
Which would honestly also mean that Vader the Force
Did I know? No.
the researchers.
Oh, Fallen Order.
Fallen Order?
Yeah, Fallen Order would have taken place.
Around the same time, actually, if I recall.
As Leashed, because that would have been the invasion of the Imperial Army.
Because it was around, that was around when Hoth was complete, well not Hoth, but oh, what's the name of the place? Where they would send the Padawans to get their crystals. Ilum, yeah, where Ilum was completely abandoned.
Mm-hmm. I want to say it was. I'll take a look. I want to say it was like a couple, like quite literally a couple of years after 66.
Oh yeah, no, that one is specifically 7, if I recall.
7 years.
If I recall.
Yeah, because I think we came to the conclusion that it was taking place at roughly the same time as Obi-Wan.
Ooh, here's another thing: it is considered canon too.
What is? Fallen? Oh, good. That makes me happy.
Has been confirmed by the developers in several story events as being canon to the main storyline of Star Wars.
Good.
So this was around the time. So this will probably put it near the end of the Inquisitors. Which means the event of the Imperial attack on Kashyyyk was probably the time Vader went in and he was looking for a Jedi person.
Fallen Order takes place 14 BBY before Battle of Yavin, which is New Hope. Which one? Between episodes 3 and 4, don't have any. Oh, Starkiller's father, Kento Marek, is slain by Darth Vader on Kashyyyk. Takes place right in 19 before Battle of Yavin, which is the opening of the first one.
Right, so that would be.
Timeline for it, I'm getting 19 to 1 before Battle of Yavin. So 18 years.
It's done. Thank you, Titan 3.
And you saying that
Imperial ships.
Fallen Order is 14. Force Unleashed is 18 to 1, or 19 to 1.
So yeah, 5 years later.
Take us to light speed. Leave their Starhawk to
Suddenly, then Force Unleashed would go on,
Titan Squadron.
which would
With
start the
Admiral Soane's
which would get the
unerring
rebellion's
support,
ideas to do
We
stuff
have left Project Starhawk in
more
ruins.
effectively and more secretly than Saul was doing,
Vanguard Squadron is doomed.
which would then lead to the Andor stuff,
Imperial ideals have prevailed.
and then Rogue One.
Loyalty, duty, discipline.
I guess at the same at the end of the day, I think it would really depend on whether or not LucasArts wants to bring in Force Unleashed as a potential redux or a remake. It'll be, I think, at this rate, the only way that they would have actually bring it right back.
Titan will be waiting, no matter
Give
the
us a
cost.
remake, make it long.
This war
Yeah.
is our crucible.
Make it a longer
will
game.
emerge
Delete the
triumphant
second game
and
entirely.
bring
Just have us the
this
first one that goes through the whole fucking storyline as just the guy.
I think the second one would have worked if,
It wasn't made in a year.
yeah, because it had promise.
Oh yeah, it had a lot of promise, but if Unleashed 2 was given more time, or just... I would have loved it if they did re-release Force Unleashed. It is... Both games are just tied together. They redo the second game as its own thing.
Yeah.
Just have it be like a 2-part thing, or maybe they release the first game and then you get an entire second game as like a $30 DLC.
Well, the first game already seemed to have DLC, but in any case, that would also bring into question: do they want to make that canon? Because if they make it now, or remake it now, it's very possible that they would have to make it canon.
Well, they're remaking the old Knights of the Old Republic games.
I know they did a not remaster, a port for it for sure on PS4 and Switch.
Oh yeah, they did, but they're also remaking them like entirely.
Yeah. I mean,
Those are
personally,
still in the works.
I think what they could do, if they really want to make this work, is they could give the second game significantly more development time.
Yes.
Really add in some extra stuff that they couldn't have added in, because I'm sure that there was a lot of cut content that they could easily add on, and they could give it the Mass Effect treatment, really. Where it's a combo of both games under one launcher. Really.
That's what I was about to say, is just slap it into the same game.
Or do what Zach kind of said but go about it the
You know he did the right thing, though. The civilians needed
the
What doing for
Dead Space. Destroy our humans, or go for the Dead Space route. Release a remake of the first game and sell the second game at a discount with the first one.
Well, no, they need to do Destroy All Humans for this series because nobody likes the second game. Where it's just remake the first game with better updates and just completely remake the second one.
Oh, fair enough.
No, they already ported the second one again.
I know we have a mission, but we also have each other to lean on and to protect.
Of Unleashed?
You've got my back
Oh,
out there.
I heard Destroy All
No
Humans.
matter what.
Oh yeah, no. That's what I'm saying is doing what they planned for Destroy All Humans, which is
Oh.
releasing the games they liked, people liked, and entirely remaking the one nobody enjoyed.
Gotcha.
Because there was just a lot of issues with the second Destroy All Humans, wasn't it? Wasn't it like story? More.
Third is what people had issues with.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry that our first
So what they're planning for this Destroy All Humans franchise is remake 1, remake 2, and completely redo 3.
You and Vanguard have
okay.
held back the Imperials, but we must get those civilian
And just
engineers
do
out
that
safely.
for Force Unleashed.
I need
Remaster
you
or
focused
remake
and
the
ready
first
to
game,
go.
and then completely redo the
Lyndon
second.
saw you as a leader.
I mean, that could work. Yeah.
That's the courage I need right now.
I will be
Now
right
that you and
back.
the others briefed,
Okay, okay.
there isn't much time.
This is the thing. Disney has to know. If you remake Force Unleashed, a lot of people are going to buy it.
Thanks
And
to
if you
your
get
work on the
with the same
contract,
company that's willing to
Anvil
do a full
Squadron heard our call,
reboot of the
and
second
Woodland
game
Jays bought
and
us
make it their
time to
own,
repair our
Mhm.
ships for escape.
buy that too.
But now
You
the
don't
Imperial
have. You
fleet
can
has
literally
Anvil's ships pinned
market
down.
it as cannons if
They
you don't
can't
want it
get
to
out.
be,
So we're going back in
Like-
to fight. Because we
or
need
as
to buy
legends if you don't want to
everyone
be
time
canon.
to
That's all
escape.
you have to do.
No one left behind.
I honestly love to
Ardos thinks we
see
have one chance.
the same
It's drastic,
company that's
but here it
doing
is.
Fallen
The
Order
moon is highly
to do
unstable, and the Imperial ships are positioned around it.
Unleashed. I would
If we
really
crash
love
the
them to see
Starhawk
them do
into the
that.
moon's
That would be
core,
cool.
the shockwave should destroy
As
those
far
Imperial
as
ships
the guy
and
in the
let us
back to
escape,
tank from the
if we're
trailer
fast.
being Starkiller,
How?
it's
The
looking
ship's
not
tractor beam is
possible
firing uncontrollably as it
because
overloads.
due to the
If we
timeline,
can get a couple of corvettes into that
Starkiller is
beam,
born
we can tow
18
it up to speed.
before New Hope,
Vanguard
which
Squadron,
would put
you're
him
up
at
first.
9 years old during
We're
the game.
counting on you to
Mhm.
clear the path and take out the closest
Yeah.
Star Destroyer.
So
Corvettes will then enter the tractor beam, and if Ardos
He was
plan
also grabbed at
works,
a young
get the
age.
Starhawk moving. It should have a straight shot.
The back to tank at the end of what?
Defend our fleet, in case
the
Imperials get
trailer
wise to
for
what we're doing.
Survivor.
Oh, okay.
When the Starhawk
Yeah, I don't think
collides
it's gonna
with
be
that
him,
moon,
but I think
the shockwave will hit
there might be
every
Would've been
Imperial
cool.
ship in range.
they might do like a background
And
character
you,
of, hey, look who
unless
that
you
is.
outrun it.
Yeah, a little
It's
Easter
risky.
egg cameo type or
But
something.
sacrificing the Starhawk will save our
That's probably
fleet
as much as we're gonna see.
and the engineers who will build the next one.
Because you
And
said
the
you'd be like
next.
9 at that point.
The future
Yeah, that's
of the
what
New
they're
Republic
putting in.
depends on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and he would have been grabbed
finish
for
this.
like I think it was like 6 when he was
Mhm.
grabbed. So having a 3-year-old in the back of the tank.
We were able to evacuate all personnel from the Starhawk. Engineers, technicians, mechanics. We took a big loss today. Those who died at Nadiri. Lyndon.
It's also
It
something
won't be in
worth
vain.
questioning
So long
is
as we survive, so
whoever
does
is in the
Project
back to
Starhawk.
tank.
And with it, the future of the New
Who
Republic.
could it be? Is it a new character? Is it an
Fortunately, the
old one?
Imperials
You know what I
didn't
mean?
seize control of Nadiri.
They're looking at new
They were too
character
busy
because there are a
chasing us
lot of
off.
new characters that are coming
I've
in
already
as well.
sent Meteor and Hell Squadrons to secure the documents. Now all we have to do is make it
Yo.
out of here.
Welcome back.
To your fighter.
Yeah.
There isn't much time.
Hot.
Huh?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
You should know, Lyndon always spoke highly of you. He never forgot what you did for him at Fostar Haven.
This is
I know war
ass
takes
fire.
its
What else
toll.
do?
Even when the Imperials attacked Moncala, I had to keep my head. Lyndon,
Aspire Games.
friend. He knew exactly
Civilization
what he was
6.
doing when he challenged Teresa.
Force Unleashed.
Doesn't make it any easier. The Overseer is
The
falling
switch
back.
port for
The other
Force
Imperial
Unleashed.
ships
The
still have us
switch
pinned
port
down.
for
You
the Star Wars
and
Republic
Vanguard
Commando.
are our
So,
last chance.
yeah,
Mhm.
I believe in you.
a game called
But
Myth
more
Force.
importantly, I believe in Vanguard Squadron. Lyndon bought us time. I know you'll all make it count. Get to your ship. Every moment matters now.
What's going on back there, Zach? Or Cade?
He was researching the game, other games that Aspire did, which did Squadrons here.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Correct?
that's Squadrons. No, I was looking at the guys
Oh.
who did. I was looking at the KOTOR remake trailer again. And it was
Oh,
what else do you
We'll
guys
get
do?
through
It's like
this. We
the
always
switch
do.
port for Force
do you
Unleashed,
know?
the switch port,
Because we never let each
Commando.
other down, that's why.
another Star Wars game I rather
So,
enjoyed.
After we pull this off, because we will, what are you gonna do?
I'm kind of perturbed that they never ported
It's just one more battle.
the HD upgrade
Yeah, but we
for
earned ourselves a whole
Commando
pile
to
of
PC.
glasses.
I was very
You
perturbed.
ever been to the last hand on Nar Shaddaa? Best cantina in the Outer Rim.
Yeah.
What a relief.
Yeah.
For a moment there.
They also
I thought
did
we were taking
Observer,
this seriously.
Torn, Layers of Fear,
It's strange.
Oh,
where
wow.
conscience leads you.
Star Wars
Took
Racer,
me from being
both
a
of the
daughter
Jedi Knight
Imperial
games.
lackeys, all the way to this tipping point. I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss my family.
Yeah, a
Regardless
fair
of their
amount.
loyalties, they are still
Could
my
have been a
brothers.
Star Wars in there. So
My sister.
Yeah.
But in
So,
Vanguard Squadron,
it looks
I
like
found a
this is the
family I
standard
could
one
stand
people go
beside
to.
proudly until the very
But they've
end.
also done the remake for
Whatever happens
Stubbs the
next will be
Zombie.
our legacy.
And I'm proud
Nice.
to share it with both of you.
Rebel without a pulse.
You, Gunny, Kyo, you're all
I'm kind of interested in what Ubisoft is going to attempt to do with the new open world Star Wars game. I'm not.
Oh, Survivor?
ain't gonna save itself.
Might be Survivor. I'm not sure. I haven't heard the name of it.
Ain't every day
The
you
sequel to
crash a
Fallen Order?
Starhawk into the moon.
No, this is
No.
Ubisoft isn't making Fallen Order, is it? Survivor?
No.
Oh, it's this
Was
big.
it Ubisoft?
Yeah, Ubisoft's supposed to be making a big one.
Ubisoft is making Jedi Survivor, which they're doing, and Eclipse is the one you're thinking of.
Okay.
Lethal Alliance, but that's back in 2006. Star Wars open world game by Ubisoft by Blackwoods. Don't know how much I trust that.
X-Wing, Y-Wing, U-Wing, A-Wing. Pick whichever fighter you need.
I literally...
You're gonna like that.
Where's my Y-Wing shenanigans?
No Man's Sky. Which is interesting, but if it's going to be as big as No Man's Sky, fuck multiplayer.
Yeah.
The project title is Snowdrop.
So we had the Y-Wing, the heavy rotary.
It's probably one of those secret ways to keep titles secret or something.
Snowdrop is the engine they're using.
The proton bomb.
So all they've revealed is it's going to be a big, massive open world game.
I don't know how much I'm looking forward to Ubisoft doing any Star Wars.
I'm not looking forward to it.
As long as they don't kill it like they did Battlefront.
Well, that's. I mean, that's why. That's why they lost the. Which company was it that made Battlefield? Not Dice. Dice
EA,
is not.
EA.
That's right.
EA did.
After they told EA that they screwed it up, they were going straight to EA, not EA, but Ubisoft.
Ubisoft.
And well, they screwed it up, and guess what they did?
They did Ubisoft.
So
And EA was destroyed because of that. They've even
EA
updated
games
so much times that even then.
oh, don't. I thought I'm supposed to be flying the Y-Wing. Oh my god.
EA Games. It's just in the paycheck.
EA Games. Challenge everyone. And
Challenge
lose.
everyone. Fuck you.
But again,
General Syndulla to
EA Games. It's in your wallet.
Twice for options.
you know, I'll never, ever understand for the life of me why they thought any of that was good business model. Like, understand, money's money, greed is greed. I get that. That is something that we live with every day. I get that. I don't approve of it, but I get it.
EA's been doing it with the FIFA games and all the other games too. That's just nobody
Sports
gave a shit
games.
about the sports games because no one cared.
What you already knew.
And the sports games, even though they have their fans are going to play them anyway.
Of course.
It's not as big of an issue with once you start getting these multiplayer FPSs that have gained a lot of traction due to Warzone and all this other stuff. Even before then, because like Fortnite and all this stuff brought in a lot of people that wanted to play more competitive stuff, and you throw something in the Star Wars universe, you're going to attract new players, and when a lot of new players come in and are met with microtransactions that are required to get anything good, it's like...
Hey, nonsense.
Hmm?
You'll need need to be flying your best for this
Check your
one.
DMs.
X-wing, Y-wing, U-wing, A-wing. Pick whichever fighter you need.
I am back.
Welcome back.
I'm sharing a meme among the 3 of us. 4 of us.
Oh, fun.
An old classic, if you will.
Yeah. Alright, you guys.
You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
EA. Yes.
No yawning.
But like,
yes,
you know,
Sonic.
I think like it just it. I don't understand what, even with all that greed and even with the things transitioning as they are, why they thought that they were going to get away with it. I mean, Cade, I guess Cade is right in the respect that all things considered, that you know, they got away with it with their sports series, but isn't that extra important that when someone as big as Disney comes in and asks you to build this game and make it right, to behave yourself?
It depends on what a company thinks they can do. But being that Disney has had both successes and flops when it comes to video game series, especially with the ones they bought, or have used different companies to do so. Disney doesn't have the best track record, and so a lot of big video game companies think they can make whatever adjustments they can to change stuff, not realizing that every time a bad game for a Disney franchise has gone out, Disney has dropped that company like a fucking sack.
Oh no, real quick.
And it's always the same thing, and it repeats itself constantly.
Well,
but we can we have the 4 series that we're doing the same thing on, and we're not getting in trouble for that. And then the moment it's revealed, oh no, you got a big enough people coming in that they're all raising hell. You get dropped by Disney, and then everyone's like, wait a minute, if you're doing this for this, what about these series?
Well, here's also what frustrates me. EA. I don't know what's happened to them recently. Because, like, the EA I remember was, you know, the PlayStation 2 EA and, you know, all these previous titles where 9 times out of 10 when they had their name on it, you could be guaranteed it was pretty good. If not really, really good. And now it's just kind of like they're just there for the money and to ride that name.
God damn.
You know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not super excited to see Ubisoft go out of their way to be making it, but at the same time, I'm glad it's just not another EA issue again.
Yeah.
I'm looking into EA now, and I'm looking at the CEOs. Trip Hawkins was a founder back in 82 to 91, been an employee of Apple since 78. Time when the company only had 50 employees. And then founding early success, etc., etc. He steps down as EA CEO and was succeeded by Larry Probst, which continuous expansion success into the new millennium. That's 91 to 07. 3DO developed 3DO Interactive Multiplayer, which at the time was the most powerful console. 95. 04, EA made a multi-million-dollar donation to fund the development of game production curriculum at the University of South California's Interactive Media Division. That's kind of cool. Here we go. September 06, Nokia and EA announced a partnership in which EA becomes an exclusive major supplier of mobile games to Nokia mobile devices through the Nokia Content Discoverer. Able to download 7 EA titles: Tetris, Tetris Mania, The Sims 2 on Nokia, Doom, FIFA 06, Tiger Woods PGA Tour 06, and FIFA Street 2 in the holiday season of 06. Very interesting there.
Yes, thank you. I think I figured that one out.
Don't blow up.
07 to 13, John Riccitiello era. Elevation partners Sara Lee and PepsiCo. Okay. John Riccitiello announced EA would reorganize itself into 4 labels, each with responsibility for its own product development and publishing, the city-state model. The goal of the reorganization was to empower the labels to operate more autonomously, streamline decision-making, increase creativity and quality, get games into the market faster. This, I think, was close to the era that you're thinking of, the PS2.
What year was that?
07. 07 was when that started.
Yeah, that's about...
in 2015.
That's about that era. Yeah.
Also in 2007, EA announced that it would be bringing some of its major titles to the Mac. Released Battlefield 2142, Command & Conquer 3, Tiberium Wars, Crysis, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Madden NFL 08, Need for Speed Carbon, and Spore for the Mac.
Well, they chose Carbon over Underground? Jesus. Ooh. Carbon's not bad, it's just...
That's that's putting it onto the Mac, not just releasing it or anything.
No, I know. I'm just like, huh?
Revealed in February 08, EA had made a takeover bid for rival game company Take-Two Interactive. Itch.
So are we seeing more or less of where things are going wrong?
2013 onwards, so Andrew Wilson is up to current, 13 to current.
Yeah. Alright. I will see you all tomorrow.
Later, bud.
Very well.
Okay.
April 2013, EA announced a reorganization which was to include dismissal of 10% of their workforce.
Well, that'll do it.
Consolidation of marketing functions, which were distributed among the 5 label organizations, and subsumption of Origin operational leadership under the president of labels. Yikes.
Ew. What do you say?
Just a bunch of not good in April 2013.
Oh.
EA acquired the lucrative exclusive license to develop games within the Star Wars universe from Disney in May 2013, shortly after Disney's closure of its internal LucasArts game development in 2013. EA secured its license from 2013 through 2023, so this year, and began to assign new Star Wars projects across several of its internal studios, including BioWare, DICE, Visceral Games, Motive Studios, Capital Games, and external developer Respawn Entertainment. Since Respawn is an external developer, that's going to mean that they could still keep that. April 2015, EA announced that it would be shutting down various free-to-play games in July, including Battlefield Heroes, Battlefield Play for Free, Need for Speed World, and FIFA World. That's where a lot of it's starting to come in. 2015, it looks like that's when it's really starting to hit.
Oh, so it sounds like they were
Andrew Wilson guy.
They were on the down spiral.
They were on a down spiral because it sounded like they were spending too much money and not making enough. And
That
so
might
they had changed their business model significantly in order to survive.
That might be why they thought they could get away with it too. It's because it wasn't so much they thought they could, it was a matter of we need to get as much out of this game as we can.
Well, franchise. Reorganization and revised marketing strategy led to a gradual increase in stock value. July 2015, EA reached an all-time high with a stock value of $71.63, surpassing the previous February 05 record of $68.12. It's up 54% from $46.57 in early January 2015. The surge was partly attributed to EA's then highly anticipated Star Wars Battlefront reboot, which released 1 month before Star Wars The Force Awakens, also highly anticipated. So it's a conglomeration of just Star Wars after Star Wars coming out that just skyrocketed their stock value at that time. And that, I think right there, specifically is what changed them.
Come on! Oh my god.
Wow!
I'm about to kick the bucket here. There we go.
Slingshot! Very good.
Oh, shit.
During E3 2015, VP of company Patrick Soderlund announced that the company will start investing more on smaller titles such as Unravel, so as to broaden the company's portfolio. December 10th of the same year, EA announced a new division called Competitive Gaming Division, which focuses on creating competitive game experience and organizing esports events. It was once headed by Peter Moore, which I think was one of the earlier CEOs. Oh god, that is a bad idea. I tried scrolling up and it just hyper-bolded everything. Something with Wikipedia has been going really weird. May 2016, EA announced that they had formed a new internal division called Frostbite Labs. New developer specializes in creating new projects for VR platforms and quote-unquote virtual humans.
What?
New department? I don't know. New department is located in Stockholm and Vancouver. EA announced the closure of Visceral Games in October 2017. Prior, Visceral had been supporting EA's other games, but was also working on a Star Wars title named Project Ragtag since EA's acquisition of the Star Wars license, even hiring Amy Hennig, formerly for the video game company Naughty Dog, to direct the project. Yeah. While EA did not formally give a reason for the closure, industry pundits believe that EA was concerned about the principally single-player game, which would be difficult to monetize, as well as the slow pace of development.
Yeah, it's money.
They were focusing on the multiplayer aspect. And then EA's original approach to the microtransactions in Battlefront 2 sparked an industry-wide debate on the use of random content loot boxes. While other games had used loot boxes, EA's original approach within Battlefront 2 from its early October 2017 launch included using such mechanics for pay-to-win gameplay elements, as well as locking various Star Wars characters behind expensive paywalls, leading several gaming journalists and players to complain. EA modified some of the costs of these elements in anticipation of the game's full November 2017 launch, but they were reportedly told by Disney to disable all microtransactions until they could come up with a fair monetization scheme. Ultimately, by March 2018, EA had developed a fairer system that eliminated the pay-to-win elements and drastically reduced costs for unlocking characters. The controversy over Battlefront 2's loot boxes led to an 8.5% drop in stock value in 1 month, about $3.1 billion, and impacted EA's financial results for the following quarters. Further, the visibility of this controversial, led to debate at government levels around the world to determine if loot boxes were a form of gambling and if they should be regulated.
For the most part, a lot of countries decided that the answer to that was yes. And even if one country in the EU decided that, the rest of the EU would follow because of how the EU works.
Yep. So, there's that. So it looks like 2013, more specifically, not really just 2013, but the Andrew Wilson era, which is what we're currently in, but 2015 seems to be the era, around the time frame for it.
How is that shield generator eating all this damage? Like, Jesus. There it goes. God.
We got it, shields. You're in the clear. They locked onto me.
On February 6, 2019, Electronic Arts stock value was hit by a decline of 13.3%, the worst decline since Halloween 2008. This was largely due to the marketing of their anticipated title Battlefield 5, which was released after the holiday season of October 2018. Stocks were already declining since late August, when EA announced that Battlefield 5's release would be delayed until November. Upon release, the game was met with a mixed reception, and EA sold 1 million fewer copies than their expected figure of 7.3 million. Also attributed to the stock plunge was the game's lack of the game mode Battle Royale, popularized by PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and then Fortnite. Stocks then surged with 9.6% with the surprise release of Apex Legends, which garnered 25 million players in just 1 week, smashing Fortnite's record of 10 million players in 2 weeks. In advance of the end of its financial quarter ending March 31st, 2019, Wilson announced they were cutting about 350 jobs, or about 4% of its workforce, primarily from their marketing, publishing, and operations divisions. Wilson stated the layoffs were necessary to, quote, address our challenges and prepare for the opportunities ahead.
The Star Destroyer's tractor beam. Try to boost out of there or blast its emitter.
Alright, where are you?
That 2013 and then specifically 2015 seems to be the 2 years
where are you?
Poking out the most for me.
Shh. There you are.
Where you found it?
Yep.
May 27th.
Hit the bottom of that ship.
Oh no.
Okay, they missed their chance. Eliminate that Star Destroyer so we can move the Starhawk into position.
So
Jesus.
It sounds like once that new guy took over, that was really when, yeah. Now, did he make those decisions because they were that financially screwed, or did he make those?
It doesn't mention anything. It doesn't mention anything in there. 2013 was the dismissal of 10% of their workforce, and the consolidation and everything. And then, and it seems EA, the very next month, got the Star Wars licensing. But then 2 years later, 2015, July 2015, their stocks spiked because of all the Star Wars stuff coming out that year.
Yeah. Might need to hit those shield generators before I worry about that.
10% of the workforce is a lot.
It really is.
March 18 was when John announced that he would be stepping down on March 30th. Larry Probst was also appointed executive chairman on the same day. Andrew Wilson didn't really take over until September. So part of it was the company was kind of working on its own between March and September. April was when they dismissed the 10% of the workforce and then got the Star Wars licensing.
Okay, they missed their chance. Eliminate that Star Destroyer so we can move the Starhawk into position.
Just sounds like a huge, humongous mess.
Any advice, General?
Yeah.
Because it sounds like to me that they were struggling for a while, and then they
Probably
saw this.
trying to figure out who to put in as the CEO.
They were struggling for a while, and then they got dropped this opportunity by Disney, and they're like, you know, this could be the answer to our problems. Let's monetize the shit out of it.
You're safe.
Mm-hmm.
2010, EA got the acquisition of England-based iPhone and iPad games publisher. May 2011, EA reported $3.8 billion in revenues for the fiscal year ending March 2011. January 2012, EA announced that it had exceeded $1 billion in digital revenue during the previous calendar year. June, they launched Origin.
It's a hot piece of garbage.
Yeah. Around this time, Valve, which runs Steam in direct competition with Origin, announced changes to storefront policy, disallowing games that use in-game purchases that were not tied to Steam's purchasing process, and removed several of EA's games, including Crysis 2, Dragon Age 2, and Alice Madness Returns in 2012. Though EA released a new packaged version of Crysis 2 that included all the downloadable content without the storefront features, EA did not publish any additional games on Steam until 2019, which is kneecapping them, instead selling all personal computer versions of games through Origin. The minute they get taken off of Steam, that is a kneecap. I'm sorry. I don't care if you put out your own launcher. If you're taken off Steam, you get kneecapped.
Yeah, no.
Steam has been around for so much longer. It's also a trusted platform, and the deals they make they think they're losing money by letting it go on sale, but realistically they're not. And that's their biggest honestly their flaw for a lot of companies is taking shit off Steam.
Well, that's not EA taking stuff off Steam. That's Steam removing it.
Oh, really?
Because all the extra purchases would no longer have been through Steam. It would have been through Origin, essentially.
Oh.
Steam removed several of EA's games, including Crysis 2, Dragon Age 2. Those two on its own are a massive franchise at that time. And then Alice Madness Returns.
Which is a cult classic, so.
Shield generators are down.
And then, of course, like Bradley said, retaliation. They didn't release anything on Steam
Foxo.
until recently. Foxo.
Yeah. 2019 was when they were able to sell. Was when they published again on Steam.
Probably because they didn't have much of a choice afterwards. Really didn't.
I feel like Steam doesn't think they're like hurting themselves whenever they do those big deals. I'll be completely honest.
There it is again. That doesn't sound like a comm glitch.
Right. We're investigating. Stand by.
Wake up! Enemies behind you!
Alright, that's enough of my research.
Honestly, all things considered, even if they did get hurt by it, Steam has more than ample opportunity to really bounce back.
Oh, yeah.
That's the big problem with fighting something like Steam and trying to get it to, trying to fight them on something that's, they're just so terribly talented in combating. Where is it? There you are.
You're too kind.
Tractor beam emitter is destroyed.
So that's, I mean, it's like trying to fight a bear, well, an unintended barehanded.
No, I think barehanded you'd still have a chance. It's more like you're trying to fight a bear with a Chinese finger trap.
That one's for the commander. Deflector shield down. I'm taking fire.
Oh, please don't tell me I have to destroy the underside.
Yes, you do. I don't know if you do.
It's the side. Alright, let's just bomb the shit out of this part of the hull.
You're in the clear.
Yeah, for the bombing run.
I'm lucky to fly with
The Star Destroyer is out of the fight. Good job, everyone. Now, form up.
What's next? Regroup with the Starhawk for stage 2 of the plan.
Vanguard, looks like that signal is coming from inside the Starhawk.
What? It's been evacuated.
We have to be sure. Get to the signal origin point before it's too late.
Grace, you see that?
Unbelievable.
So beautiful.
But you
And then it
know the
explodes.
Starhawk inside out?
We thought we lost you.
Yeah. I'll explain later, General. What's our status?
The Starhawk has a straight shot at the moon, sending in corvettes to get it moving. Give them some cover.
Corvettes? To tow the Starhawk into the moon and take out every damn Imperial ship in range.
Then count me in.
Let's finish this together.
My ship is in tatters. It's blown a couple gaskets, but let's do it. Never mind swapping to a new ship.
I've lost my engine. I'm not even sure that that's my droid back there anymore.
It could be the booze talking, I don't know.
Straight for the Corvettes. And a stationary target. Vanguard, be ready.
We'll hold off the Imperials as long as we can.
Corvette engines at full power.
So I have a question.
How long is this gonna take?
Longer than I'd like.
Why?
Now I thought about it.
What happened?
And this might seem like a strange question. Obviously, I know that, there are personal droids. But does every pilot... Are there, just communal droids, I guess is the best way to put it?
I would assume, for the most part.
Well, the Gonk droids, for one, technically.
I meant, astromech.
Oh, Lordy! You were supposed to track to beam the other thing! Not me! Owie! That was painful.
I'm pretty sure, in all honesty, they're off.
So I
It
believe...
feels strange for them just to go, oh, a personal droid, I guess you go without an astromech.
So they have astromechs equal to the amount of ships that they're supposed to carry that require astromechs. Because astromechs are actually the ones that,
kind of run the ship in a way.
well, not only that, but they're kind of important for those ships to fly into hyperspace.
Yeah.
They
need all those massive calculations.
Yes, and the ships, while equipped high-end computer systems,
still need someone or something to run said computer system.
Yeah.
And the pilot is kind of, piloting.
so... Can I please click the button to not be...
So what I hear you saying is, long story short, probably.
It's not necessarily that
I'd say the better way to put it is, long story short, yes, in the sense that it might be more that they're tied to the ship rather than to the person.
Well, I'm trying.
Actually, we kind of see this as well. In the Clone Wars, we saw them kind of replace R2, and that droid had already seen other stuff in the past as well. So theoretically, that droid could be a quote-unquote communal droid.
If I may.
Yes.
Thank you. Each starship gets a astromech droid. There are many reasons besides repairs and all that jazz. Hyperdrive is typically associated with it. I do believe that some astromechs and some pilots tend to just work better together. It's very difficult to really say because there's no real big explanation for it. I'm inclined to believe that what happens is each ship gets assigned an astromech, and until that astromech either E needs repairs or B needs to have its memory wiped, or C whatever other reason that would be required to need to swap out the astromech to begin with, they just swap it out with another one. So I'm sure it's communal, but in the same way that it's a weapon and the military is considered communal. It's your assigned weapon until it needs to be replaced, and then if it's still in working order, it'll be assigned elsewhere. Or if it needs repairs, then most likely, I'm assuming they'll swap them in and out as need be. So it's kind of communal, it's kind of not. And it's especially with as low how little equipment that that the rebels tend to have, I would assume that a couple droids have probably flip-flopped a little bit. R2 is a special case because R2 has had knowledge since the fucking Clone Wars.
He got well with Anakin as well.
That, but he also has had information in his brain since the Clone Wars. Even though they were supposed to be wiped after every mission. That's why he's so bloody smart. Because whenever he came up, or they came up with a solution that worked, he remembered it. And he remembers weapon systems, he remembers
hacking techniques.
Everything.
That also explains why he's so sassy.
Yeah.
Yes. He's senile. Ah, damn it.
Damn.
I just had this mental image of R2 being sassy as usual, C-3PO berating him, and just going, "I raided him, man. I seen the Death Star blew up 2 times. I watched the clones fight. I've been through some stuff, man."
And honestly, at the end of the day, I genuinely believe that R2 is one of those very special cases where, like Foxo said, they kind of
mesh extra well with one user.
For whatever reason. It could also easily be as something as you bring what you need. You bring what you get, and whatever you manage to acquire is yours.
Could even be as simple a case as even Anakin specifically requested R2 each time. Which is why he was just so bummed when he couldn't pick R2 that one time in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Well, it also makes sense looking at, the original trilogy that, R2 would vibe so well with Luke, because there's a lot of similarities between Luke and Anakin. And just their personality and their style.
Except he didn't complain about sand.
But I imagine, honestly, that's probably why R2 syncs so well with Luke despite them meeting for the first time.
Yes, I know, you're not helping. It's very hard to shoot something that doesn't want to be shot.
How's our Starhawk doing, Ardo? We're getting there.
How did you survive this like Starhawk?
And I was damn lucky.
Heard the droid. Got one on my tail.
Oh. Okay, okay. I'm trying. Ow! Oh, well, there they go.
GG.
Okay, I might have to get the X-Wing for this.
Well, while you get the X-Wing, I think I'm gonna head off for the night.
Yeah.
What are you in currently?
After midnight.
Hmm.
He was in a Y-Wing, I believe.
I was in a Y-Wing. I mean, I could dim down the difficulty, but we're also looking at 12 o'clock.
Yes.
And the issue is either I end it now and be done with it.
Or we go for
however much longer it's gonna take. Which...
Because this is literally the last mission.
Mm-hmm.
What I might do is I might commit a cardinal sin and demote the difficulty to easy.
Just to get through it.
Just to get through it.
How dare you?
Excuse
I
me.
will not. I will not follow this. I am leaving the stream.
The Starhawk has a straight shot at the
Just an effort to be able to finish.
Give them some cover.
To finish tonight.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I wish you both the best of luck. You especially, Nonsense.
Thank you.
I do have work tomorrow. So
Yes.
fare thee well.
Rest well, bud.
Rest
Go.
well.
Yay.
Alright, let's get this finished and get this finished quickly.
As fast as you can.
Something like that.
Oh, Jesus.
And they're stationary target. Vanguard, be ready.
We'll hold off the Imperials as long as we can. Watch the tractor beam. Our starfighters can't handle it.
Corvette engines at full power.
How long is this gonna take?
Longer than I'd like. Be ready.
Come on, hold together.
You okay, Linda?
Okay to fly, but not to fight. My little droid here can only fix so much.
We've got all the firepower we need. If you watch our backs, we'll handle the rest.
Look sharp. More bombers coming in.
Oh.
May I join you?
There you are. There's one of them.
That tractor beam's no joke.
It's your lucky day.
Another bomber wave. You're taking no chances. How did you survive inside the Starhawk?
I don't know. Remember? And I was damn lucky. How's our Starhawk doing, Ardo?
We're getting there.
Heard the droid. Got one on my tail.
You're in the clear.
I'm in formation.
More bombers coming right at us.
Got me. That tractor beam almost shot me apart. I'm with you.
Lucky I was around.
Hey, thanks.
The Empire's attacking our corvettes.
Without those Corvettes, the Starhawk's going nowhere. Tell them that. Vanguard, we have TIE bombers heading right for us.
Let's get rid of them before we lose those corvettes. Are you waiting now?
Careful. That tractor beam isn't stable.
That's it. The Starhawk is on a
There it is. Much faster.
There we go.
Smooth sailing from here.
Wouldn't that be a change?
Where are our corvettes going? I ordered them back. That maneuver almost burned out their engines. It's up to you now, Vanguard.
Count on us, General.
All right. The Starhawk's picking up speed, but it's still vulnerable.
Vanguard, defend the Starhawk at all costs.
Leave it to us.
I've got you.
I always pay my debts. Eventually.
The Starhawk's almost ready to blow. Only gotta fly escort.
Nope.
I've never noticed it just now how slightly drunk he sounds. He says eventually.
Once the Starhawk reaches that point, there's no turning.
Eventually.
Eventually.
It's too bad we're losing the Starhawk like this.
Might be the alcohol talking.
To stop Imperial fleets, and that's exactly
I promise I don't drink and drive.
Thanks to Trissa, though I doubt she'd like the irony.
We're picking up an incoming Imperial cruiser. Stay alert.
This cruiser's about to not like me. Hi. Guess what? Cruiser done.
Nice.
And it's just like, fat dump.
Do you remember the Captain America PSAs?
A little bit.
Imagine you had one with Darth Vader instead doing that to just TIE pilots.
I think Vader would be more along the lines of, he don't care. Here's your job. Here's what I expect you to do. Now go do it.
You think that would be more of a Luke thing?
I think that's more of a...
like that?
I feel like that's more of a Luke thing, but even then, Luke was never considered a general. He was just someone more that they could rely on, and somebody they could just rely on and trust.
That's what I was thinking, because he'd almost essentially be, you know, the hero. That hero figure. Like Captain America is, you know? An icon and an idol.
Potentially.
Second enemy cruiser's taking a beating. Don't let up. We're getting close. Everyone watch your cockpit heat levels and give those Imperials hell. You got it.
There it is.
Taking damage. We can't let them destroy it before it hits the moon.
That's another cruiser down. Superb.
Hey, Arno, you seeing this?
Confirmed. Enemy fighters closing in.
Going into formation.
Starhawk is almost there.
Time to give it all.
I'm in formation.
You're a slippery little wanker, aren't you? There it is.
Watch your fire. They're right behind you.
It's your lucky day.
You did it. There's no stopping the Starhawk now. Time to fall back.
The Starhawk's as intact as possible. It's going to land like a hammer. Good work, Vanguard 5.
Yes! Hammer time. Skadoosh.
Did it. You saved the world. love how he's like, get out of there! What do you think we're doing?
I feel the shockwave out of my tail. Stay with me. No room, no room. Gil, see that opening?
Oh, I'm a little fat. I'm a little fat.
A little fatter than you expected.
I am not an X-Wing. Ouch.
Big meaty boy with two big meaty wings.
Oh.
Everyone holding up okay? Faster, Frisk, you can do it. Go on, leave me behind. No one gets left behind. What the? There's no way through here. We're done for. There's always a way. I see it. That's my flight path. What the commander said. This might take us through.
This'll be tight. We can do it.
I've heard enough in here. No time to get careless. All these rocks look the same. There's light. Follow me. We're almost out.
There we go.
We're clear.
I did it. I mean, we did it. Let's head home.
Chandrilla's ahead. Our people will be safe, and we can plan to rebuild. You did it, Vanguard. Project Starhawk is only just beginning.
Vanguard, punch it.
Skadoosh. I hope they make another one of these games. The big. It would
Be
also,
super nice.
it would also be really nice if they actually went back through and touched on the Clone Wars a little more.
If you only believe in it,
Imagine one of these themed around the Clone Wars.
Right?
We know our new republic faces great challenges. But thanks to
You really wouldn't have much of an enemy side, though.
Not really, no. There will be plenty.
Well, I mean, like, to play an enemy storyline, almost. Unless you're some kind of, pilot leading a group of droids.
To be fair, they kind of pull this out their butt, too.
The war goes on.
Just saying.
Face it with renewed courage.
Fair.
Inspired by heroes who fly for freedom as we emerge from the darkness of imperial oppression into the light of a new era.
Now, what would be exceptionally cool if they took, that one game that's similar to War Tanks, but it's got them all in it. Tanks and planes.
War Thunder?
If they did something like War Thunder for Star Wars.
That would be so cool. Imagine driving a turbo tank. Ever since I saw those, I've always thought how cool it would be to have a game where you drive one of them.
Now imagine you're a bunch of troops and you're riding in one of those drop ships. Sometimes you can open the bays to shoot things from the ground level. Sometimes you're traveling from the ship from space down to orbit, and you can feel the ride. And if you manage to die on the way down due to how things work, you could even just respawn straight on the ground.
I can do you one better. Imagine being in a clone AT-AT.
Bruh. Like, for real though, it would be so cool, and they could do it for the Clone Wars. They could do it with the Rebel Alliance and the Empire. You know, there's not a lot of heavy Old Republic content to rely on outside of what they've already done, but they could do a lot of really, really interesting
stuff.
They could try and revisit the New Republic like they kind of did here.
Yeah, because we have like very little from the New Republic era. About the only thing we really have is this game and the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, technically Battlefront 2 as well. Technically,
that's true.
But it's legitimate either way. Anyway, thank you all for coming.
Sorry it took so long.
Like,
looking at the time now.
Thank you for coming. Sorry that it ran so late. For those who watched till the end, there will be a stream on Tuesday starting around I think 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, something like that. I'll make a announcement on my Twitter. And I'll be streaming Mech Arena on mobile. And I hope to A, see you there, and B, let your friends know that we're here. Like and subscribe on both here on Twitch and on YouTube. And I hope to see you soon. I also want to go ahead and apologize for not uploading the rest of the Star Wars series. I didn't realize that I was so behind on that. I'll fix that ASAP. And meantime, have a wonderful evening or morning for those of you who it's early morning for them. And we'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Later.